Hey guys, Mr. Oliveri here, and today we are going to be able to understand stereotypes. Hopefully you've heard that word. If not, today's the day you're going to learn about it. So we're going to be able to learn what a stereotype is and gain background knowledge as to how they play a part in The Outsiders, which we are going to start soon. So, what's a stereotype? A stereotype is a widely held and oversimplified idea or image about a particular type of person. Okay, so here are some examples. All women are good cooks. Sometimes you stereotype women like, "Oh, you're a woman, you must know how to cook." When oftentimes that's not the case. Okay? Another stereotype, all Italians talk with their hands. When you talk with your hands, it's called gesticulations, like you're making a lot of gestures. That's the root of that word. Um, a lot of times in movies, when you have Italian characters, they always talk with their hands, like, ah, ba, and they're shaking their hands, okay? That happens sometimes, but just because you're Italian doesn't mean you talk with your hands. That's a stereotype. Another stereotype is that smart people have glasses. You have glasses, oh, you must be smart. A stereotype. Okay? It doesn't have to be negative. It could be positive. Smart people have glasses. It's a positive stereotype. But it's a oversimplified idea about a particular type of person. And just because you have glasses does not mean you're smart. All right? Now, how do people stereotype or label other people? Because we're going to see this constantly as we read The Outsiders. All right? You label, you judge people, you stereotype people based on how they look, who they hang out with. This is a big one. Who they surround themselves with, and what type of brand or clothes they wear. I mean, like, if I don't know, today someone has Yeezys or the new LeBron James shoes, it's like, oh, they must have money. They must be really athletic. They must be good at sports. Whatever. Whereas if you have, I don't know, New Balance, they're like, oh, this person must be broke. This person must be poor, and that's not always the case, but you put that label on someone without even really getting to know them. All right, and again, we're going to constantly see this as we read The Outsiders. Now, what we are going to ask you to do is take a look at the two groups of characters we'll see in The Outsiders. And you're going to write a journal response about your initial thoughts on what type of people they are, their personalities, how society values them, etc. So you're going to look at the two types of groups that we're going to see in The Outsiders, and you're going to label them. You're going to judge them based on how they look. All right? So, before we get into the task, let's go through an example. Okay? Based on how they look, what would you automatically assume about this person? Hang on. What would you automatically assume about this person and how society sees this person? So let's take a look. Let's look at this dude. All right. Here's what I wrote. Based on this image, I'm inferring that, notice the sentence starter. Based on this image, I am inferring that society may look at this man and immediately think he's mean and nasty. He's got tattoos all over him and a cruel look on his face. This is what I'm seeing. Okay? Angry dude. I would imagine that society has labeled this dude as this guy's mean, he's tough, he's probably not the nicest guy. Yeah. And this is how you label people. This is how you judge people. And we're going to see this in The Outsiders. Now, you don't have to do this for the assignment, but I wanted to tell you the reality of who this guy is. This guy is C.T. Fletcher. He is a world champion power lifter who is now a motivational speaker and a life coach. C.T. Fletcher owns many gyms, and a lot of these gyms are in poor areas that he uses to help keep kids focused and stay out of trouble. So a lot of times he opens these gyms, they're in not the best areas, and he'll take kids and he'll help them work out and, encourage them to spend more time in the gym. And the more time they're in the gym, the less time they're out getting into trouble. So this is actually, contrary to how he appears, this is actually a really good guy, okay? And it's funny how that could happen. Looks aren't, or things aren't always as they seem. Like that expression, don't judge a book by its cover. All right? Now, again, going to the assignment. You're going to look at the two groups of characters and you're going to write a journal response about your initial thoughts on what type of people they are. So let's see the two groups of characters. First, we have the greasers. Okay? What you could do, pause this video and zoom in. Really get a look at these characters. Notice how they're dressed. Also notice the hair, how they're dressed. You can zoom in on the looks on their faces and what's going on with these guys. How would you label these guys? What are your initial thoughts about the greasers? Again, you can pause this video right now, get a good look. Moving on to the next group, the socias. The socias is short for the socials, okay? Now, the socials is a big group of people. These are just some of them, okay? But here's another glimpse of one of the groups, the socias. Again, pause this. Notice what they have on. Notice how their hair and their style compares to the greasers. Look at the clothes. Look at this guy's jacket. What can you infer about how society maybe sees these guys? How these guys are judged based on their appearance? So again, you could go back to the video, pause, zoom in, whatever you have to do. Write a journal response about your initial thoughts on what type of people they are, their personalities, how society values them, etc. What do you think people think about these guys when they see them without knowing them? How are they judged? Remember those sentence starters that I used in my example? Based on the images, I believe the greasers are da-da-da-da-da, while the socias are da. Based on the appearance of the two groups, I'm making the inference that, or based on the appearance of the greasers, I would imagine da-da-da-da-da. Again, journal response, whatever you think, there's really no right or wrong answer. Just give it your best shot and be sure to go back to these pictures and really get a good look. All right? Take care, guys.